This is the value of wrestling, the revolutionary force in wrestling podcasting.
Hey, it's your boy Miguel G with the Value of Wrestling New Japan Rebound Podcast. I have a guest for you, folks.
Yeah, that's what. Hey, man, shout out to Value of Wrestling. I'm right here with the Big Oos, San Jose. We're going to shut this shit down. Love and respect, though, right? Value of Wrestling. Hello.
Man, thank
I gotta turn on my mic. There's the magic of the hour. There's the magic within the power. If I was turning on my mic, we might actually have what I'm saying get through on the air. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, it happens, but we're here for your Monday Night Raw review for January 22nd, 2024. This is your post show. This is your review show. This was the 1600th episode of Monday Night Raw. No, wait.
I remember commentary put some number out, but I forgot, to be honest.
Was it the 1600? I thought we were way past that. I thought we did Raw 1000. We haven't done Raw 2000. Oh, stand by. Alexa, Samsung TV off.
Okay.
Random TV that randomly loves to come on. Welcome to the party, Mr. Miguel Z. We are glad that you are here. Let's get into the introductions. Of course, sitting across from me tonight, the one, the only.
Paulus, Clarke.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, keep your thoughts about being old to yourself, Mr. Z. And of course, you know me. I'm the B-T-D-I-G-T, the B-I-T-T-Y-M-E. I'm the big time. And I'm here to roddy stoddy, lottie dotty, get it rocking like nobody else knows. Ooh, let's see what the poll said here. No, we're not. I don't want that poll. I want the other poll. Where's the? What was the? Oh, great! Now I lost my whole chat. Okay, go back, chat. There we go. No, where's the chat? I really got to go back out of this to see what's going on. It's right here. Okay. Well, somebody was not very excited about this show. I thought this was a banger show. This was a damn good show. This is a great go-home show. So if you didn't fall asleep, I don't know what you were watching because it was way better than anything that put you to sleep. I think they kept you on your toes and kept you going all night long. Man. Cody Rhodes and CM Punk blew it out of the water. If you didn't like it, I don't know what to tell you. If they didn't say anything about AEW, this is WWE. Who gives them? Only the Young Bucks live in the past. These guys are showing me what they can do in the here and the now. Mr. Clarke, what are your thoughts on the opening of the show?
The opening had to deal more with...
Well, the opening to our show, yes. What is your opening statement about Raw tonight?
I agree with you. I enjoyed tonight's episode very much. There was throughout the show you had good in-ring action. You had some good promos. You had some interesting, not behind the scenes, but way back in the scenes moments.
You had a couple weird, odd, like, okay. They had some foreshadowing, which made sense later on, and then they just had Nikki Cross show up, who hadn't been around in a little while, doing her thing, which she does. So, I mean, if you were sleepy, maybe lay off the NyQuil. I don't know. Go to bed earlier on Sunday night, so you're ready for 3 hours of great Monday Night Raw action. Anyways, yes, we opened this show. This is the Raw Before the Rumble. This is the go-home show. I don't want to see Dave Meltzer on my screen. I want to read my notes, not see Dave Meltzer. Thank you. Again, this is your Raw Before the Royal Rumble. This is your go-home show. We know last week Seth Rollins suffered an injury. He suffered a tear MCL and a meniscus. And they said it'll be about 4 months after surgery for him to be out of action. And I think I called this yesterday on the roundup. Seth Rollins came out here. He didn't hobble out. He had a big knee brace on, but he wasn't on crutches or anything. So I don't know if it's necessarily as bad as a lot of people said. He came out. He has a knee injury. He looked sad. He looked like he was crying. If he has surgery, it looks like he's going to be out 3 to 4 months. But we're taking it one day at a time. And Seth Rollins is here. And we got the swerve. We got the swerve. Seth Rollins didn't relinquish any titles like a lot of people thought was going to happen. We didn't see Damian Priest cash in the Money in the Bank. And this is what I thought. I thought we were going to get swerved. I thought he was going to keep it. From everything I was researching, he might be back in time to do the Rumble. Of course, this was a perfect time to do exactly what Triple H did. We didn't need Damian Priest to come in and try to cash in. Would have been a great moment, but this moment hit it home and put this man on a whole new platform. This made this man a contender, the dark horse that everybody's been talking about in the Royal Rumble. I mean, when Gunther and Imperium came out and the promo between Gunther and Seth Rollins, the back and forth, it was great. Seth Rollins let us know he doesn't care what the doctor says. He's going to defend his title at WrestleMania. Gunther says, I'm going to be the man, and I'm going to break that leg, that knee. I'm going to go after every part of that body that's on 100%. Rollins appreciates Gunther for the honesty, but Gunther needs to remember who he's coming after, and Gunther tells Rollins better remember who's coming after him. And they shake hands with nothing heelish in this moment at all. It was perfect. It was just, to open the show, it got you invested right then and there, because I don't think we were expecting Gunther. I think we were expecting Rollins to either vacate the belt, Damian Priest to try to cash in some funky business, or, something. I didn't really think Rollins was going to give up the title. The surgery being 3 or 4 months, he could probably be back in shape to wrestle by WrestleMania. So I was like, I don't think that, but they may do something and let him come back without the title or do something. But hey, he's going to keep the title, and they made Gunther not just a dark horse, but a competitor. I mean, we know it's probably Punk's Rumble. They're really bleeding you hard to make you go for Cody, too. I mean, they gave you every reason, but they gave you a damn good reason tonight to put money on Gunther winning this Rumble. This was great. And then they shook hands, and they walked away. We didn't get any big heel turn. Well, or not a heel turn, excuse me. We didn't get any heel attack. We didn't get Gunther over the top. It was gentleman's respect. It was what you expect from Gunther, and most of it. I thought it was beautifully done. I thought this was amazing. This was a great way to start off started off hot and made you go, well, okay, here's another name for the Rumble. I mean, we've talked about it. We know Gunther's a contender, but they really sold you as a contender tonight, where they hadn't really put him in a Rumble or into the title picture. And tonight they made you want to go, yeah, I'm ready to see Gunther and Seth Rollins. If Gunther wins the Rumble, I think we can all walk away happy. I've rambled for about 5-10 minutes here, Mr. Clarke, so I'll let you have the floor on this opening segment, because I know you're itching to get some sayings in there.
Well, look at this past year. From Royal Rumbles last year, where Gunther was a part of the first two that were in the ring and lasted damn near
1 hour.
match.
1 hour and 11 minutes and some odd seconds.
1 hour and 11, yeah. So, I mean, this whole year we've been talking about this coming Royal Rumble, that he should be a contender just because of that great run last year.
Yep.
Now you add his Intercontinental run and just the good matches he's had in general. Now you add the fact that they're finally pushing him, the narrative that you and I have been pushing this whole year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's great. And like you said, talking about just this promo, the back and forth between Seth and Gunther. Booking 101, if this were Tony Khan, he'd have Imperium probably jump Seth or something. Here, we got the right thing done, which is, yes, Gunther's still heel. He's talking very heelish, but it's talk. It's in your face. It's very direct, in your eyes, man to man. It's not, I'm going to attack you, I'm coming from behind, or, it's none of the bull BS.
No, it was beautiful. It was beautifully done. I mean, if you didn't like Gunther, you had to kind of have respect for him tonight and the way he was presented. Like, They could have accidentally turned a babyface if they weren't too careful. Because, I mean, he just, the gentleman's sake, like, I'm here. I'm not going to attack you. I'm not going super heel. There's no tricks up my sleeve. It's just, I'm coming after you. And you're just like, okay, I believe it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was masterfully done. It was masterfully done. Yes, Tony Khan would have dropped the ball and fumbled this and rolled it in some cat turds on the way through anyways. From there, as Gunther's leaving the ring, and it's the only thing that was a little confusing to me, as Gunther steps off the steps, Xavier Woods jumps over the ring barrier, or the barrier from the crowd, and flies right past Gunther, who didn't give any reaction, but I was kind of like, if I was Gunther, wouldn't I have been like, nope? But anyways, Xavier Woods flies over, followed by Kofi Kingston. They start the beat down on Imperium on the outside. And we start a big match here. It was joined in progress after we came back from break, and Woods is getting beat down in the corner. Kaiser comes in to stomp away as well, and Woods is sent outside. A belly to back drop onto the apron has Woods in even more trouble. We take a break. Back with Kofi getting the hot tag, cleaning house, at least until Vinci's baseball slides him down. They brawl on the floor with New Day being more aggressive than usual. It goes to a double countout. This match went 8 minutes, 48 seconds. Good, solid match. Both of these teams picking up the viciousness, the just aggression, just really more of a let's fight feel to this. I think both teams brought it very well to this moment. I'm glad we got a double countout because this feud can continue and kind of build and progress a little bit. We'll have to see how that plays going forward, but I think it was really good. It did what it needed to do, and it's showing a little more aggressive from New Day, which is nice to see, and Imperium being a little more aggressive, seeing them step up to that next level a little bit, feeling a little more sincere. Mr. Z.
I think this match or this angle, whatever you want to call it, since it was double count out, it put over all four guys, which is something that doesn't usually happen.
No.
But because both Imperium for the last few weeks have been showing more aggression, now to see New Day kind of follow up with that and to go hand in hand, like, yes, this is how it's supposed to go.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't mind the double count out because we know we're finally starting to be able to sink our teeth into something now and invest in them a little bit.
Well, Mr. Z, we can talk about Tony now. Did you, your new buddy, your new pal, your new Tony Khan, Mark, did you make sure he signed up to become a member of the Value of Wrestling? Did you do that part so therefore he can get on here and listen to us talk about Tony Khan and either agree or disagree? That's the key. If you made sure he's tuned in to what we do, then maybe there'll be something there. Anyways, post-match, the brawl stays on with Kaiser and Woods brawling at ringside and the other two going into the crowd. So that would have been Kofi and Vinci. They get back together with Kaiser grabbing a chair, but Woods makes the save. Save picks Kaiser up and teases, putting him into the tech area, but Vinci makes the save. Kofi has to save Woods from going through the tech area, and all go crashing through the floor on the tables. This was a great segment, and the crowd got into it. They were even bleeping the crowd tonight because, crowd chat. But yeah, when they all went down on that table, it was damn good.
Man.
Anyways, we got a video package of Drew McIntyre, and he's going to be taking on Damian Priest tonight. That is your main event. Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest. They're going to sort out things. And we are back in the New Day clubhouse. Rhea Ripley and Priest get in an argument. Priest is accusing her of having a big head for being on the cover of WWE 2K24. If you didn't know, WWE 2K24 dropped the pre-order sales today. Officially went live. You can pre-order however you do that, whether it's on PlayStation, whether it's on Xbox, whether it's on Steam, or any other sort of ways that you can get that game. It did drop for pre-order, so it is going to be pre-orderable. It will be available to actually play on March 8th officially, unless you get the deluxe edition or the WrestleMania, the 40 Years of WrestleMania edition. Those will be playable, I believe, on the 4th, it said. A lot of great content in there. I've already bought my copy for sure. but it dropped. So on the standard cover of WWE 2K24, you have Cody Rhodes and a beautiful vignette. On the deluxe edition, you have Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair, very beautifully. And then on the WWE 2K24, 40 years of WrestleMania edition, you have a whole combination of WrestleMania superstars making a big deal. It looks like it's going to be good. Added a lot of things. You're going to have ambulance matches this year. That is brand new to the game. You're going to be able to throw your opponent into an ambulance. You're going to have casket matches. You're going to be able to throw your opponent into caskets. They have a special guest referee finally back in the game, so you can be a special guest referee or have special guest referees. The system's be really revamped, coming out with some new stuff. Maybe some other people need to learn what they're doing in this game to learn how to make a video game, because some people's video games flop bad. But a lot of special dat, and the pre-order's up. So if you don't know, go order that. So that's why Priest was making fun of Rhea, because she is on the cover of the deluxe edition. Rhea snaps off at him for worrying about fighting with Drew. He's like, I'm going to handle Drew tonight. Don't worry about it. Judgment Day business. Priest goes to leave. Ripley jumps on Dominic and Finn, or Dominic and JD McDonough. Finn standing there, and every time she said something, Finn kind of repeated it. And then she turned to Finn and asked, what are you laughing at? She hasn't seen the vicious side of Balor. Balor tells her she will see the vicious side of her tonight. Maxine Dupree is ready for the Royal Rumble. And no, she didn't have a match tonight. The Creeds come in, and Maxine Dupree's ready for the Rumble. I think Ivy Nile's ready for the Rumble. This is more about Ivy Nile. These notes are confusing, but the Creed brothers come in and give a pep talk. And we get Ivy Nile versus Valhalla. Former Sarah Logan, now known as Valhalla. Mm-hmm. Boy, that girl needs to get out and get a little bit of sunlight, because she pasty white like Sheamus.
Hey, some people find that sexy.
There are some new factoids next to the name graphics on the entrance. Valhalla hammers away to start. Oh, yeah. So we get Ivy Nile and Valhalla in the ring. Valhalla gets our start, and we look back on the ringway, and Nikki Cross is just walking across. We hadn't seen Nikki Cross, or at least we haven't caught Nikki Cross in anything recently, so it was weird to see her just kind of walk on by. Can't wait to see what they're going to eventually do with Nikki Cross. Niles knocked outside and dropped again, followed by some ripping at the face back inside. Valhalla sends her to the apron, slowly brought up top, where she hit a top rope bulldog to finish Valhalla at 2 minutes 48 seconds. It was a match. I think it showed that we just haven't seen Valhalla wrestle a lot, so there was some missed opportunities, and Ivy Nile being a fresh face. Still some greenness there. There was a few things there that didn't go probably right, and took away from the match a little bit. But Ivy Nile with the pickup win there over Valhalla. Your thoughts on this match?
I don't know if I would rate it a perfect match or anything, but I thought it was pretty good. I've been a fan of Sarah Logan, as she was known in the WWE, Valhalla now. And I like Ivy Nile. I've watched Ivy Nile in NXT for a while. So I'm not quite sure what took it out for you, but I was fine.
Oh, there was a couple botches.
It's not really a wrestler at this point.
Yeah,
she's more of a valet. So by the same token, it's like, was it done on purpose? Was it just happenstance?
No, there was a couple botches there in the moments. I think some of it's just we haven't seen Valhalla really wrestle, so when you don't see her wrestle a lot, and Ivy Nile being new to the main roster, there was just a couple steps there, and then the setup for the bulldog off the top rope, what Ivy Nile calls the pit bull, was kind of a slow, just kind of, it seemed like it took a little longer than it necessarily did to finish it off. Anyways, we're in the back with the New Day when Jey Uso interrupts to ask about their issues with Imperium. He brings them some ice bags. They talk about how serious they can be, and they'll prove it. And New Day wants the big boss, so Kofi wants an Intercontinental title shot next week. As they were talking, this is when Damage Control walked behind them in the background, kind of looking like they were all lost, just kind of doing what Damage Control does. I don't know what they were doing there, but we are about to find out. Oh, hello, kitty. Welcome to the party, la-de-da-de. Anyways, here comes Miguel's favorite person, Mr. C's first lady of choice, his his secret heartthrob, his secret crush, the one, the only, Nia Jax. Yes. We'll see if he's awake. Anyway, Jax wants to talk about how she squashed Becky, she squashed Rhea, she squashed everybody, which is why it's no surprise that Ripley wants to face Lynch. She promises to kill both of their dreams this weekend, but here is Becky Lynch. The man walks up and tells Nia to shut up, you dope. Lynch knows that the only thing people in the locker room can agree on is that they don't like Jax. She's probably hurt half of them, so of course she has a target on her back. Lynch is ready for Jax to lose, but here comes Bayley, and this is why Damage Control was here. Bayley comes out and says she's going to win the Rumble and point to the WrestleMania sign, but the brawl is on instead with Nia Jax cleaning up, dropping a leg drop instead of the whatever she calls her finishing maneuver on Becky. Manhandle slam Bayley, and then Nia knocked throughout Becky and then hit a leg drop on Bayley instead of hitting her version of the Yokozuna Banzai drop. Whatever she calls it, the Annihilator. It's not your move. It's Yokozuna's. Sorry, it will always be Yokozuna's. Nobody else has done it until all of a sudden she thinks she can do it. And it's like, no. Mr. D, don't you put that one on me. She's all on you.
She will crush you.
All the way to your soul. Good promo package. I know Mr. Clarke was happy to see an extra day of Bayley. Mr. Clarke, your thoughts on this promo package?
That was pretty decent. I mean, Nia Jax is Nia Jax. You know, good, bad, or otherwise. Always love Becky Lynch when she speaks. And I'm always happy when Bayley comes around.
Yes. This is true, this is true, this is true.
Yes. Thank you.
Anyways, I think I'm going to be sick.
Says Miguel.
Yeah, that's what Miguel said. He thinks he's going to be sick after that. Anyways, we got Rumble by the numbers. 30 entrances. There's been 1,310 entrants into the Rumble. However you want to say that. There's been 34 winners. 2.6% have won. 20 have gone on to win the title at WrestleMania. One woman to enter at number one and win it all. 20 was Rhea Ripley, and Rhea Ripley also holds the most eliminations all time of 20. I think Kane still holds it for the minute 40-something. Rhea Ripley has the longest time in the ring for the women at 1 hour, 1 minute, and 8 seconds. And Gunther made the record last year, taken away from Rey Mysterio by going 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 40 seconds, bell to bell, coming in at number one last year and going all the way. 60% of all the winners have come from the last 10 entries. So 60% of winners have come from numbers 20 to 30, with 30 producing the most winners at 5, who were John Cena, Cody Rhodes, I can't remember the other ones now, Brock Lesnar, Triple H, and I forgot who the 5th one is now. But that's okay. It happens. Just wait till SmackDown again, then you'll see Sky or Kairi Sane, whichever works. The number 30 has produced the most winners at 5. 3 who have won. There are 3 people who have won consecutive back-to-back Rumbles, being Hulk Hogan, Shawn Michaels, and Steve Austin. Steve Austin last did that in 1998 was the last time we had a back-to-back winner, which is a very important narrative there. Steve Austin has the record for the most wins. He has 3 Royal Rumble wins. The last one in 2001. So Steve Austin had 3 wins. There's 3 people who have back-to-back wins. And this is the 3rd time Tampa will host the Rumble. They hosted in 95 and 2021. 8 eliminations for Baszler is the most in a women's single match. And I think Brock has the most for men in the men's side in one Rumble together. That's traditional Rumble, not the Greatest Royal Rumble, where I think Braun Strowman has the most eliminations. Undertaker? What? Miguel's, are you going to bust that with the Undertaker? Yes, the Undertaker is going to be in Tampa doing the one man, or he's going to be in Clearwater, which is that same area, going to doing the Dead Man show. Will we show up at the Rumble? I don't know. Could he be a surprise entrance in the Rumble? I hope not. Maybe Hulk Hogan will be a surprise entrance in the Rumble.
Oh,
You never know. He might have one more in him. Oh, the Undertaker, you're right. Thank you, Mr. C. It was John Cena, Cody Rhodes now, The Undertaker, Triple H, and Brock Lesnar, who all have won for the number 30 position. There we go. Undertaker won that number 30 position with Shawn Michaels in that beautiful match. They went on for another 10-minute match after everybody else was eliminated. It was great. Becky Lynch is in the back and runs into Rhea Ripley, who wasn't impressed by what she just saw. Anyways, it's time for Dominic Mysterio to take on The Miz. You know, you can officially go to WWEshop.com, and maybe WWE needs to pay us to promote their shop. But anyways, you can go to WWEshop.com and buy your own Tom and Nick Mysterio with R-Truth t-shirt. It is a real thing. Anyways, Dominic Mysterio was out with JD McDonough and Finn Balor. And we had a vignette earlier where R-Truth told Miz not to tag in tonight. Wink. Miz is like, I'm in a singles match. And he told him to watch out for the Mysterio guys. R-Truth said Tom and Nick. Miz is like, it's one guy, as R-Truth walks away. Miz starts off fast. Dominic starts fast and knocks Miz to the floor where the whole team gets to pose for a bit. Back in, and Dominic keeps up the beating as this one side is one-sided so far. Miz gets sent outside again, and we take an early break. Back with both of them down, Miz firing off some clotheslines. The reality check gets two, and Miz drop kicks McDonough through the ropes. The Hurricane Karana to the floor takes McDonough down again, and a springboard high crossbody to Mysterio, but back inside. The yes kicks, the it kicks, including the big one to the head. Looks up to set up the skull-crushing finality, but Dominic breaks it up. A Balor with an insecurity sets up for the 619, then the Frog Splash, 9 minutes, 18 seconds. Dominic Mysterio with a big win here over The Miz. Yes, he had some outside help from Finn Balor and JD McDonough. But a good solid match here. They both looked really good. I was very impressed with this match. Miz had a good start off, but Dominic hung in there and did really great. Post-match, the beatdown is on, but DIY comes out and saves The Miz, which is crazy to think that Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano are out here to save The Miz. And then McDonough winds up getting the skull-crushing finale, but set up for meet in the middle, but Balor pulls out JD, saving him from a meet in the middle. Mr. Clarke, your thoughts on this match?
I really like this match. And I like that Dominic really got to showcase what he could do and, feel like he could go one-on-one with The Miz. I'm not so happy that he had to have help, but maybe we're just at that stage. We're not quite ready to pull the trigger on Dom, winning on his own, which is fine. The fact that he's progressing is what I'm happiest about.
Exactly.
You look at him when he was tagging with Daddy as World Tag Team Champions, and you're like, okay, yeah, he's good with Daddy, but what can he do on his own? Now we're starting to get to that point where we can see what he can do on his own in a singles match, and I'm very happy about that. Yeah. Obviously the ending, DIY coming in for the save.
So weird.
Kind of helps continue that story.
So weird. Yes, Dominic's looking good. He did look a little green tonight. There was a couple miscommunication spots between him and The Miz. And that's okay. He covered up for most of it and looked really good. I was happy with this match overall. All right. Skipped by a whole bunch of stuff, and we're going to go back down here. Damian Priest is ready for Drew McIntyre tonight. He's in an interview, but R-Truth comes in and offers Priest a cut of his merchandise for the money tonight. Priest sits down now. Truth is like, oh, bad time, and walks away. For now, he's ready for McIntyre, who couldn't handle things when people came back. Tonight, McIntyre is getting his punishment. Bronson Reed wants to face Jey Uso next week. I guess he's not after a man with the title, as he told us last week. Now he wants Jey Uso. So we're going to get Bronson Reed and Jey Uso. This should be good. From there, we got a really... Go ahead.
It'll be a good match, Bronson Reed and Jey Uso. But what does it mean? Like, one has to go over the other eventually.
Mhm.
And for the one who loses, it's like, are they really going to be able to push them at that point then?
Bronson Reed versus Jey Uso. I think if Bronson Reed loses, it may not be the greatest thing, but if Bronson Reed beats Jay, it may help pull Bronson Reed up. And then, of course, Jay will probably want that rematch to get his win back, but it's not going to necessarily hurt Jay. So I'm kind of hoping a Bronson Reed win is here to get him kind of going back. They had him going with the Intercontinental title, and I know they got a lot of players in there. They did that with Chad Gable. They did that with The Miz. So Bronson Reed's there, and I think if he were to beat Jey Uso right now, Jay could kind of be, I got beat by this guy, won his rematch. It would kind of pick Bronson Reed up to another level. So I think there's an advantage there. Of course, we're talking a lot of rumors, speculation that Jey Uso may be facing Gunther at the WrestleMania right now for the Intercontinental title. That's the hot talk. Bronson Reed may be using that to pillar himself into that. Maybe we get a four-way dance for the Intercontinental title. Maybe Gunther loses the Intercontinental title before we ever get to WrestleMania so we can get Gunther versus Brock Lesnar. So a lot of things could possibly be in there. So I don't know if it's necessarily that bad of a thing, but it'll be interesting, and it'll just depend on how they play it off.
Perhaps.
Well, it's not like TK's booking the shit and we have to really worry about the damage he's going to do to these guys by the time he's done. I mean, at least there's some hope of believing in there. With Tony Khan, we'd be sitting here and go, oh, this is a shit show. So, anyways, I mean,
I just fear for, like I said, I mean, you're right. No matter what happens, it's not like it's going to be a total trash fire and whoever loses is just going back to catering. But I think it's going to take them that much longer, though, to get back to where they need to be.
But again, if Jey Uso loses, does it really affect him that bad?
He's not winning all the matches he should be to begin with, so that
But I mean,
on your perspective.
Bronson Reed and Jey Uso, or Adam Copeland and Minoru Suzuki?
What does the AEW match have to do with our discussion?
I'm just saying. I mean, you're kind of saying, well, why are we having this match? I'm going, why?
No, not why are we having the match. I'm saying I'm just kind of fearful, or I'm kind of like, I don't know how. Obviously, until we see the result, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about it. Anyways,
about it. Well, I mean, you're kind of feeling like this match is not helping anybody. The loser's not really going to get anywhere. I'm kind of like, what does Adam Copeland and Minoru Suzuki do for each other? I mean, why? Why's the murder grandpa gonna murder?
That's like apples and oranges.
He sends them home on a paid vacation. Exactly. Ain't that the truth? God, thank you, Miguel. See, anyways, the next match was really a decent match. I think we got a better match here from Ivar than we've seen recently. And we got to see a showcase kind of by Chad Gable and what he can really do and how much strength that little man does have. Anyways, it's Ivar versus Chad Gable. Well, you just don't see it until he goes out there and does what he does. And you're like, that boy is strong. That boy, you don't want to mess with him.
And this is the man they formerly called Shorty G.
Oh. Say that again. Don't ever say that again. Let's not go back. That's like saying Jinder Mahal and his world title run. Those are certain things we just don't want to go back in history and talk about. Anyways, Ivar starts off fast with the tour of the islands, but Gable strikes away, manages a knockdown. The top rope headbutt connects. Man, he flew off that top rope and hit a beautiful headbutt on Ivar. But Ivar gets up, suplexes him to the apron, setting up a splash, and we take a break. Back with Gable managing a top rope suplex, but Ivar grabs a tiger driver for two of his own. Gable victory rolls him into an ankle lock. Ivar eventually powers out. Another ankle lock is broken up, so Ivar hits a sit-out spine buster for two. The Doomsault misses, though, and Gable grabs Ivar and does a pinning bridging German suplex. I mean, this fool picked this man up. And he was practicing earlier with Otis, but I mean, it was beautiful. He hit this move. I don't think you could be that much better. He gets a 2 count. Gable goes up to the ropes, and out of nowhere, Valhalla, who didn't come out with Ivar as far as I knew, comes up and screams in Gable's face, distracting him, allowing Ivar to knock Gable down. He goes for the Doomsault. and we get a good for the pin on Gable at 10 minutes and 59 seconds. This is a great match. I mean, everything was beautiful about this, coming off the top rope and doing another German suplex, reversing all these moves. Ivar looked great in this, and Chad Gable just showed how awesome and amazing he is. I'm not really mad that Gable lost here because it makes sense, and I can't wait to see what they're going to do with this going forward. It'd be great once we get Eric back, but I mean, this is a really good match for Ivar to be in it. And come out like this, but Gable looking strong. I mean, incredibly strong. I mean, he freaking German suplexes this guy into a pin, in a bridging pin, and you're just like, damn. Mr. Clarke, your thoughts?
By the same token, Valhalla, yes, did have her influence, but it's like, she never touched anyone.
No.
So, like, the referee couldn't say anything to her, really.
No, she just...
the ring apron.
She just jumped up on the ring apron out of nowhere and screamed at Gable. Or screeched, or whatever she does. I don't know if she actually talks anymore.
Very little, here and there.
All right. And that was that match, which was a good, solid match. I mean, Ivar looked good coming out of it, and of course, Chad Gable, you're like, damn. There's not much more to say. And in the moment of all moments, this is where everybody should have been sitting down and taking notes. This is where Tony Khan should have been writing the playbook out. Because we got the moment, and I know some people are like, no, we didn't talk. They didn't talk about AEW. They didn't blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, these two brought everything to the table, and they made it make sense, and they went places that you just didn't think they could go. It was beautiful. It was perfect. You can't wait. I mean, both these guys made their case. Cody Rhodes looking to go back-to-back in Royal Rumbles. Hasn't happened in 26 years, I think they said. Hasn't happened since 1998. So 98 to, and we're 20, yeah, it's 26 years. 26 years it hasn't happened since somebody's gone back-to-back Rumbles. Is Cody going to be the guy to do it? Is Cody going to win the Rumble? Is he going to be the first guy in 26 years to win back-to-back Rumbles? You can answer that in the chat, in the Q&A there if you'd like. But, this promo between Cody Rhodes and CM Punk was beautifully done. Cody Rhodes comes out to his film music. He gets out there. He has the mic. And before he can say anything, Punk's music hits. And we are on. We are on like Donkey Kong. And Cody asks CM Punk, what does he want to talk about? And CM Punk immediately said, I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why people are complaining. But CM Punk goes, I want to talk
on Twitter, trust me.
I want to talk about Dusty Rhodes. I want to talk about the American Dream. And we start there. And he talks about a story where the Dream called Punk when Cody was coming to OVW to get ready and asked Punk to watch over Cody. And Punk said he did. When the Dream calls, you do what he says. When he asks for a favor, you say yes. And he didn't have to do much. Cody didn't do like a lot of other people had done. And he looks at Cody and he's proud of him. It's a proud moment for Punk. But on Saturday, it's going to feel like he's breaking a promise. And the Rumble, Punk isn't looking out for Cody, but rather looking for him. Punk promises to go on to main event WrestleMania, which Cody accepts. Cody talks about how he's tried to come here and be the light in the darkness. He references his daddy talking about being in the shadow, but he wants to be the light in that shadow. It's true that he was a nepotism hire in OVW, and Punk treated him like a peer when he didn't have to. They became friends, but that is bittersweet because there are no friends in the Rumble. Punk then asks him what happens on Sunday morning when the Rumble's over. Cody grew up in the business and knows what it's about. Punk talks about how he wasn't born into wrestling and brings up Dusty's famous catchphrase, which describes him more than Cody Rhodes. And he goes on to say, I am more of the American Dream than you are. Cody gets more serious and brings up, I want to talk about Night Bomb, which Punk said and inspired a generation of wrestlers, including Cody. But he left for a long time. Cody did everything Punk talked about doing, which makes him more Punk than Punk. He talked about how Punk walked out and dropped the torch, and Cody picked up that torch and ran with it. That's why he is more Punk than Punk. That makes Punk take off his jacket and talk about how he's the bigger star coming to take everything Cody wants. That Cody has been here for 2 years, carrying the company on his back. And then the man, that bigger star came along that had been gone for a while, and his back is going to stop him from achieving his story. Cody talks about his dad again and talks about how his dad would always quote John Wayne. And the one that he remembers the most, his favorite one, is courage is being scared and saddling up anyways. The only direction Cody can go is forward into the Rumble, and that includes going through Punk. Cody goes to leave and bumps Punk on the way out. Punk grabs him and spins him. They go face to face, nose to nose. And I mean, literally, they were nose to nose, staring each other down. Brief little conversation between them two in the moment. The crowd was going nuts. There was a Cody chant. There was a CM Punk chant. I have to say the CM Punk chant probably won tonight. It kind of drowned out some of the Cody chants at different times. Of course, Cody chant got bigger than Punk chants at times, but it would probably sound like more of a Punk crowd. Nothing physical gets down. They both visually calm down and walk away. They go out on separate sides of the ring. They step down at the same time. Cody goes to leave. His music hits. He turns to look back at Punk, who's standing by the announce table. Reminds the announce team, or he gets in Wade Barrett's ear and on the mic, sort of, to say that the money bet is him. He's going to win the Royal Rumble. And by God, I mean, you couldn't have written this. You couldn't imagine this. You couldn't put it together more beautifully than these two men did. They brought up history. They told you their friendship. They told you the story. They showed you that they're friends, that they're going to do whatever it takes because they're both on the same path. They're both here. They both have come back to right their wrongs in their stories from previously. This is what the story is going to get. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to break your heart. If you think The Rock and Roman Reigns is happening at WrestleMania, they've told you today at least twice. There is no Rock at WrestleMania and Roman in a match. It's not happening. And I'm sorry if that breaks people's hearts, but today they put out WWE 2K24 with the tagline, Finish Your Story, with Cody Rhodes talking about finishing the story. And then tonight, they showed you why Cody must finish his story. They showed you why both these men have left, came back to right the wrongs in their stories. And if you don't understand, Cody didn't get to where he wanted to in the beginning, and he knew he had to leave to go find himself. He went off. He went to New Japan Pro Wrestling. He went to Ring of Honor. He went to TNA. He went everywhere to become a star, and then opened his own company, which we call AEW, and then left to come back here to finish the story of taking that world champion home for the Rhodes family. That's finishing his story. Punk left on a sour note in 2014 after the Royal Rumble. Wasn't happy with the direction he was going. He was supposed to face Triple H at WrestleMania, and he told Triple H, I don't have to wrestle you, you have to wrestle me. And he felt that things were unfair because people weren't being put in the main event. Why wasn't he being put in the main event? He left and disappeared from wrestling. He left so hard, as Cody said tonight, you couldn't find him. He left. But now Punk has gone back into wrestling, and AEW knows what that's about and realizes that there's only one place he can do this, and that's here in the WWE. So he's back to get his main event, to win his Rumble, to do what he never got to do in the first place. And if you don't understand the stories, if you don't see the picture that's being laid out before you, I don't know what to tell you, but Cody is finishing the story at WrestleMania. There isn't going to be a Rock. If they do that, I think you're going to get booed so hard if The Rock were to even show up at the Rumble. So I don't think we're going to see The Rock at the Rumble. I think The Rock's teased this thing. When that match happens, it'll happen. Someday, somewhere down the line. It ain't happening here because you can see they are telling you Cody will finish his story. Maybe. Can't say he's completely finished his story. I don't know if they'll continue it on. I doubt it because I don't know how much longer can people hold on. But, oh, my goodness. Cody and CM Punk got you inspired. Cody and CM Punk got you just in the juices. I haven't seen promos like this in so long where you're just hanging out everywhere, where you're just like, the rest of the world has disappeared, and you're in that moment, and that is when wrestling is amazing, when wrestling's great, when you can just leave everything behind. There's nothing out there to distract you. You can just sink into what these men are saying, and you're just like, yes, you can feel it in the core of your soul, and you're like, this is what we love about wrestling. Mr. Clarke. And if you don't like it, I don't know what's wrong with you. I don't know why there's people on Twitter complaining because they didn't talk about AEW. They didn't need to talk about AEW. Let me tell you, it's the young bucks who live in the past and want to dig up dirt and talk about past crap. CM Punk and Cody Rhodes are talking about the future, and that's what they told you tonight.
There's a certain group of fans that right now, as you were telling them, we're not going to get Rock and Roman at WrestleMania. Right now, they're listening to "Unbreak My Heart" by Tony Braxton. Okay.
Unbreak my heart.
Exactly. This promo between Cody and CM Punk, masterclass in storytelling.
I hope NXT was watching. I hope the NXT kids are watching.
Right? Everyone in NXT should have been watching this.
I hope everybody at AEW was watching.
I mean, there's no amount of us talking about it that's going to do it justice. If you haven't seen it, go find a clip. WWE loves to put out their clips.
And don't watch it once, watch it twice, watch it 3 times, watch it every day all the way up to the Rumble. Watch it before you watch the Rumble.
I'm sure on the pre-show they will have it on there as part of a video package.
And Mr. Steve says absolutely right. If this doesn't get you excited from the Rumble, I don't know what will, because nothing will. Do you have a pulse? Anyways, from there, we got the strangest thing that I don't know if anybody recognized unless you went on to WWEshop.com earlier today and saw all the new merchandise for Hulk Hogan. 40 years tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's been 40 years since the day Hulkamania was born. You could be, oh gosh, I think this was great. Hogan acknowledged Cody, acknowledged Punk, acknowledged the Dark Horses in this, and teased himself being in the Rumble, which is a great joke. But we're talking about 40 years of Hulkamania, whether you like Hulk Hogan or don't like Hulk Hogan. What he's done for this company and where he put this company on his back and took it has been amazing. And, give him credit. He was here. Good little promo package. And we're going to celebrate Hulk Hogan. 40 years of Hulkamania.
I was okay with it up until that last bit where he teased the idea of making a Royal Rumble appearance. I was like, dude, can you even walk, let alone make an appearance in a Royal Rumble match?
He can walk. He just saved a girl from a car that crashed on the side of the road.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
Oh, no, that was all over the news. Hulk Hogan, some teenage girl wrecked her car, and he was driving by, and she was stuck because of all the airbags. He was able to get into the car, pop the airbag, and get her out to safety. So
there was some strength in that body. Okay.
Oh, yeah, he's still working out, doing his thing. At least he looks in better shape than somebody else on AEW that's actually training for an in-ring comeback, as he continues to say.
Can we get off of AEW's jock for a while on a WWE show?
Anyways, from there we had Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell versus Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. Baszler takes over on LeRae to start before it's off to Hartwell, who kicks Starks in the face. The villains are in trouble as we take an early break, back with LeRae getting to clean house, meaning Stark has to make his save. Hartwell is knocked down, and the Z360 finishes LeRae at 6 minutes 32 seconds. Decent little match. The promo cut into the middle of it, but we're building up the next contenders because post-match, Caden Carter and Katana Chance come in for the stare down, but then the Kabuki Warriors show up, and so we know why the Damage Control is here. Your thoughts on this quick little match?
I enjoy watching Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. I actually even like Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae. Nice little match. I kind of expected Shayna and Zoe to go over just because they seem to be like the next possible contenders, but after the Kabuki Warriors.
Yeah.
So I was absolutely fine with that. And when we saw the Damage Control in the background earlier, it was like, okay, there's obviously a reason why they're here. It's not just to be in the background's sake. And we found out why they were here, as far as the Kabuki Warriors are concerned.
Yeah. Anyways, from there, Drew McIntyre talks about how important it was to be on top during the pandemic, and Damian Priest isn't there yet. Damage Control runs into Natalya and Tegan Nox, and arguing ensues. Adam Pearce comes in to save it for the Rumble, with Bayley saying they'll be around more often when the Kabuki Warriors win the tag team titles. With the women gone, Jinder Mahal and this Sheer come in. Mahal wants to know what Pearce has planned for plan, so Pierce says they will meet in his office, and of course, Pierce brings back, I need a drink. So we get Pierce and I need a drink statement. All right. Rumble by the number part 2. There have been 9 two-time winners. There's been 3 back-to-back two-time winners, but there's been 9 two-time winners. Names including Hulk Hogan, Shawn Michaels, Steve Austin, Edge, Randy Orton. Can't think of all the names that have won twice now. It's 9. It's quite a bit. 13 eliminations and 1 men's rumble by Brock Lesnar. Natalya is one of 4 women to compete in all of the women's Royal Rumbles. Kane has 49 eliminations over 18 Rumbles, both records. Kane's been in the most Rumbles at 18 and has eliminated the most people in Rumbles at 45. Punk has gone the longest without being in the Rumble, going 3,653 days. 34 million social media engagements for the Logan Paul versus Ricochet clip from last year. 9 people have won their first world title off a Royal Rumble win, and 60% of winners from the last 5 years have won the world title at WrestleMania. And that is your numbers rundown from there. And now we're going to get Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest. It is time for your main event, and we got a good one. Hammers into the corner to start, but McIntyre's back with a running clothesline. They're already out on the floor with Priest getting caught diving off the steps. An overhead belly-to-belly drops Priest again, but he's right back with the broken arrow onto the announce table. We take a break and come back from break with Priest working on the back until stereo big boots leave them both down. A neckbreaker puts Priest down again, but he avoids the Claymore. McIntyre grabs a spine buster for 2, but Priest is right back up with a shot to the head. Another broken arrow gives Priest 2, and he knocks McIntyre outside. A dive takes him down, but here's R-Truth to offer Priest his money again. Priest shoves him away, but the distraction lets McIntyre hit Future Shock. Truth tries to put the money in the Bank briefcase, but has to ask Priest for the password. McIntyre punches Truth down with the distraction, letting Priest hit South of Heaven. Priest yells at Truth and throws him out, allowing McIntyre to hit the Claymore. This went 13 minutes, 2 seconds. For what we were getting here and what we were trying to figure out and how they're going to play this off, and they continue with R-Truth, you can't really be mad. It was a good, solid match between these two. I felt like this match was a little early, but given the shenanigans and the way this fell out, I think it perfectly sets up going in the future. It's going to cause the bigger rift between Judgment Day and Damian Priest. We'll have to see what happens with R-Truth in this scenario. Maybe we're going to get Priest and Drew McIntyre switching places. I don't know. Mommy seems to be a big fan of Drew McIntyre. It's going to be interesting, but I think we got a good, solid match here. Shenanigans included, but R-Truth knows how to play that storyline up, so you can't be too mad. It wasn't what I think, a perfect main event, but it was good enough for now and definitely got us ready to go to where we want to go in the future. Your thoughts?
I thought it was a fantastic TV main event.
Yeah.
Now, if this were the ending of a pay-per-view, I might be a little more down on it. But the point was the continuation of a story. I'm like, all right. It's going to, goes into Royal Rumble, goes into a future post-Rumble as well.
Oh, exactly. It's exactly what needed to happen here with everything, and made lots and lots and lots of sense. And it was good, and it means we'll get to see these two guys go at it later. It's still kind of hard to see the two heels like this go at it, to kind of get the interest in there, but it was good the way this all played out. Can't wait to see what comes after this. And can't wait for the Rumble. I mean, really, the Rumble is looking amazing. But with that said, this has been your Monday Night Raw review for January 22nd, 2024. This is the Value Wrestling on the big time. That is Mr. Paulus Clarke. Is there anything else you want to say before we wrap up everything and call it a night?
Let's remind people tomorrow, the New Japan Rebound podcast will be dropping.
Yes, that'll be dropping tomorrow. For Tuesday, Miguel Z will be bringing you all the breakdown in New Japan Pro Wrestling on Tuesday. Of course, we'll be back Wednesday with your Dynamite review show. It's got some deep waters to tread in. Of course, the power rankings are back, so we'll see how that plays into everything. And we'll be here Friday night with SmackDown, and then all three of us will be here Saturday evening after the Rumble with your Royal Rumble post-show review. We'll get to break down everything that happens with the Royal Rumble, how it all played out. So get ready for that. Make sure you're here to join us. Make sure you hit that like button. Give us all the likes you can get because it helps with the algorithm. Read that bell for notifications so you'll be alerted whenever we go live or new videos and content drop. And hopefully this week will be better than last week. I was down with the sickness and it kept me from really putting out too much content, but we got through last week. We're going to make this week amazing. Guaranteed, because the Rumble's coming up. We're going to get fired up and we're going to be here to bring you the very best in content. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're watching this later, we appreciate you for joining us in. Always feel free to join in the chat. Leave your comments below. Tell us what you think about tonight's show, what you think is coming. You're always welcome. Your opinion, your opinion here is always welcome. Whether we agree or disagree, that's okay, because we only get better when sometimes we disagree. Just like me and Mr. Clarke don't always see eye to eye on everything in the world of professional wrestling, life, and all types of other things. But hey, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you for being here. Go ahead.
You don't want to give them a current example? We just argue over Brett and Sean. Now we're arguing over CM Punk and Cody Rhodes for the Rumble.
Yes. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you for being here. We appreciate you for taking time out of your busy day, night, evening, whenever you're watching this. Talk about Raw. But until the next one, we are gonna jump out and say goodbye.
This is the value of wrestling, the revolutionary force in wrestling podcasting.